Yeah. Well, I can get it like it's summer coming over now. I don't really think about it cause I'm sober now. The sun will rise up in the east, got a rover child. He be playing beats like you're picking up a trophy now.
You know, I think any day that you're here, any day you're live, you just gotta send it and have fun.
Yeah, this is great. I love this so much. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
Are you shooting the shit? Shoot the shit. Are you shooting the shit?
There's so many people who would listen.
I was going to get started by asking you a question on the name. Is it KOHMICK?
Comic, yeah.
Comic.
Yeah, it's literally like you're saying like a comic or something like that, like someone who makes comedy. I don't know. But
Comic.
yeah, so that name actually it took me like quite a while to figure out what I wanted to do, and just like the ideas were coming to me, but I just didn't know. And my last name is Kokinis, so like it's a Greek derived name, right?
Oh,
Yeah. I like taking the K from that name. Like anything in my life that I've done, whether it was like trying to start like a little business or whatever it was, I always started that with a K. So that's kind of where that came from. Yeah.
so Comic is a made up name. You just made it up.
Comic is a made up name, yeah. And the H is silent. I try to like tell as many people as I can that because like I don't know if that helps, but yeah.
No, yeah, it definitely helps. It definitely helps. Um, so before we get into anything, I wanted
hmm
to ask, who are your biggest musical inspirations?
See, that's actually a question that I like to be asked because I love talking about these guys. Like J. Cole, obviously, is one of the biggest inspirations that I have out there. Mac Miller, because he brings that soft vibe, and I really like, I've just been listening to Mac Miller for a long time, so he's always just influenced me. And then two other ones are Aaron May and Isaiah Rashad. And I think that they kind of go hand in hand, because they're just very vibey, mellow, really good music.
hmm Did
Yeah.
you listen to J. Cole's new album, Fall Off?
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. I gotta snip. I gotta listen to the whole thing, but bro, I'm excited. I've been focusing on my music, but if I listen to that whole album, I know I'm just gonna be in straight euphoria.
Nah, yeah, it's inspirational for sure.
Yeah.
It's an inspirational album. Yeah, those are some good ones.
I think
Um,
it would probably be good for me to listen to that, get some inspiration.
yeah,
Yeah.
J. Cole, obviously, Mac Miller, R.I.P.
Mm,
That's yeah.
hmm.
Aaron May, I
Rest in
gotta
peace.
I gotta get into it. I think I've heard of Aaron May, but I'm not sure.
Aaron May, man, he's talented, bro. He's got like he's just got like kind of a singing vibe, but he's got also a very rough, low voice, and it brings the whole
hmm
thing together. And I admire people who can go high and low and bring it all together and make it sound good, man. That's that's a
Yeah.
talent. Yeah, bro. Uh-huh.
So I wanted to start by asking, within music, what's your creative process like? Do you start with lyrics? You go for a beat first with like a mood? Do you get settled for a day with a mood and then you start making music?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'm sure you've asked other artists and like people who make music.
hmm
And one thing I feel like we all have in common is that it's gonna be different, depending on the scenario, depending on where you're at. Like sometimes I'll just be in my car and I'll open my notes and then I'll just start writing, and then later I'll go listen to a beat, maybe try to fit them on a beat. Then I'll go to a producer, try to make a beat that's kind of the same vibe, and then I'll just grab lyrics from everywhere. But I feel like the main thing that works for me is sitting in the studio, creating the beat with the producer, and sitting there and writing the lyrics right there. I think that's just my best way to get it out, and it comes out the fastest that way. So, you know.
Yes, that is the pretty like most recognizable way is just being in the stew and just
Yeah.
cooking it up, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I wanted to ask the question about your song "Summer Love."
hmm
Um, can you walk me through that? How was the creative process like with that song?
Yeah, yeah. So, Summer Love that's actually funny because that one was a bit of a different one for me. I'm trying
Okay.
to I'm trying to like evolve my music into a different place. And a lot of artists go through that where they're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna do that, what's my vibe? They have that kind of crisis. But for me, I kind of just like, if I'm listening to a beat, if I like it, if I feel it, I'm gonna start writing on that regardless of if other people think it's my style or whatever it is. I feel it's good and I'm trying to say something, so I'm gonna do it on something that I feel for. So Summer Love actually started like that. It was summertime. I was thinking a lot in my head, there was a lot of stuff going on, like people who write music are just like, you gotta be thinking all the time, and like sometimes you'll just get caught up in your own loop and you'll be like, oh, I'm thinking really deep here about maybe one person or a certain time, and then you just start tripping off of that and then just write and write and write, and that's how that came. I was just thinking love. I was thinking, what does everybody want in the summer? What does it feel like? What's the vibe like? And so I tried to capture all of that and then bring it into the song so you could just listen to it all at the same time.
Did you grab from personal experiences?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Are you
So
able
just
to are you able to say a little bit of it?
yeah, so like I just feel like summertime has been a very like known time for people to go out and like, okay, it's summer, you gotta find some love. It's love's in the air and it's sunny. Everybody's happy in summertime, you know what I'm saying? And for me, it was a confidence thing. I was trying to get my confidence back, relationship stuff. You get out of one relationship, you try to get your confidence back, and it goes into your music. Every aspect of your life will go into your music. And so I just started feeling love after, after you go through a hard time, you kind of just take the love out of everything and you try to just take the positive out of everything. And so that's what I did. And I made, Summer Love, where you could just feel that love and you could just like, yeah. So I wouldn't say it was definitely like just about a person. It was more about like a vibe, definitely from something derived from my life, but it was more about the vibe than an actual
Hmm.
person itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I vote with that. That's real.
Yeah.
Um, uh, this is a question I ask a lot of people,
Mhm.
especially when they start out and being independent musicians or not under labels or anything.
Mhm.
Um, do you have a challenge that you face when you do make music, or do you have a challenge that you face when being an independent artist?
Absolutely. There is. I feel like it's more challenge than it is, fun. You know, because I'm not a part of a label or I don't have a manager or something like that, I've got to watch out for everything. I've got to reach out to people just the same way I reached out to you. I see what you're doing. This is great. You've got a platform for local artists and you're talking, you're getting them out there. This is exactly what it's about. And I can't even explain to you how many times I talked to so many of my friends about this and said, listen, somebody needs a platform and they need to start talking to the people who don't really, get seen and get recognized. And so I just think that, this is all really great. And could you repeat the question? I feel like I'm
No,
trailing off a little
no, yeah,
bit.
yeah, 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 yeah. So like you were talking about how there's no platform for smaller
Mhm,
artists. I mean, there's
absolutely.
there's obviously platforms,
There
but
is, yeah, yeah.
there's no like
The
easygoing
struggles, I
platform.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no easy way to express your music in a different way through like interviews or whatever, because there's not that much interviews that are happening with smaller artists, which is why I started this as well. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but the original question was, do you have like challenges when facing
Yeah.
independent artistry, or like when just in general music
Yeah.
as an artist?
I think, yeah, that's definitely why I got sidetracked there because, it all ties into that. You're reaching out to people. Like reach out to you. There's producers that are reaching out to me, and I have to watch who I want to reach back to. And you gotta look at everything. You gotta post your own music. You got to make your own videos. You have to make your own promotions and find your own features. And you know, it's something that if you don't love music, then you're not going to be doing it. If you're in this for the money, if you're in this just to grow, this isn't something that you should be doing because it's not, people will see that. It's something that people can see right through. And I just feel like being genuine and trying to get out there as much as you can. And like I said, like make videos, like it is hard. But the other day I went out with like four of my friends and on their own time, they're like, you know what, let's do it. Because I asked them if they wanted to make a video. They said yes. And they poured so much of their time into making like a promotion for Summer Love actually. And this was like literally a couple nights ago, and we didn't end up using any of it. We recorded for like 2, 3 hours, and I'm not using any of it because it just didn't end up being what we wanted, you know?
Hmm.
So there is challenges, but you overcome it with fun and trying to make it into something else, you know? Because if I'm here and I'm just doing the music and I'm putting all my eggs into one basket, then it's gonna be pretty hard to be able to support myself, you know? So I
Yeah,
have to do what I have to.
that is the like main thing, is having fun instead of just doing it for, you know, the
But
money,
yeah,
the fame, all that stuff.
absolutely, yeah.
Um, Now I'm gonna sidetrack just a bit and focus
Go ahead.
on a little bit of creativeness here. Do you ever face creative blocks?
But yeah, absolutely, like all the time. And see, creative blocks is like a really weird topic to get into because everybody I feel like feels a different way about it. Um, I personally feel like yes, everybody gets blocks. It happens all the time. But like I said, I'm always watching videos of like J. Cole and my other inspirations, and like he actually has one video where as soon as I watched that, I thought of everything differently after that. And he basically said that when you have a block and when you can't write and you find yourself not being able to do it, you try to give yourself time. You tend to go and sit on it for a bit and let yourself find inspiration. But the truth is, you're not gonna find inspiration. You're not just gonna, it's not just gonna naturally come to you. You have to put in some kind of work to turn that inspiration into something, you know? So I think the biggest thing is practice not having writer's block, you know? Write all the time. Wake up, write something. Write what you dreamed, write what you did yesterday. At night, write what you did the whole day. You know, get used to writing and forcing yourself to, in my case, freestyle. I've forced myself to freestyle all the time now. Every day I'm freestyling at least like 4 times. And you saw I uploaded a freestyle and it
Yeah,
wasn't, you know, I didn't feel like I did the best of my abilities. Like I didn't feel like I performed as good as I could have. But that ties into the other thing of like practice, keep posting. It's not exactly a block. You're just kind of, you know, a little bit of yourself is showing and you're starting to get a little bit embarrassed. And maybe it's like you want to stop and you want to just like cut it off. But don't. Keep going, edit it later, do what you have to later. You know, practice. That's it.
that's also ties into authenticity,
Hmm.
um, because when posting, I feel people get scared to post because they don't want to show so much of who they are, and they're scared to show, I guess, the world or the social media platforms. Mainly, I guess, because of nervousness. I don't know. It's like anxiety, you know, those stuff coming in. Um, but in reality, people love to see the authentic self, and they love to see the random things that you do, the random stuff that happens throughout your day, and just film it, whatever. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of ties into authenticity there. Um,
Yeah.
this is another like kind of writer's question. What emotion, I guess a lot of artists struggle with this sometimes. Um, what emotion do you struggle the most to put into words, but you try to do it in songs? So it's like
Mm.
kind of like therapy for people. Is they struggle to speak it, but
Hmm.
they'll write it into song and they'll speak it there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. You know, I in high school, like I was also very intrigued with music, so I did like projects on when you listen to music, does it change your mood? Does it suppress your anxiety? Does it help depression? I looked into a lot of that stuff, and you know what? It does, not just listening to it, but making it too. Because as you said, it's a way, it's an outlet of like letting go of some of that pain or saying stuff that you just don't want to talk to anybody about. Like, I don't know about other people, but I'm not the greatest at talking about my feelings or how, I just don't like sitting there and talking to somebody, face to face and being like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. So why not throw it into a song, throw it into a freestyle? And yeah, absolutely right. It's an outlet for whatever pain or emotions or anything you're feeling. New Beginnings was a good example of that for me. It's another one that's like, I feel like I'm moving into a different direction from that kind of music, but it was still something that I put a lot of like pain and a lot of, that one's actually a huge backstory. Like there was a lot of people that were talking and, they were trying to say things behind my back and they were my friends, my own friends, and my other friends were coming and telling me, and I could hear people talking on the phone and I could hear certain things. And all this drama in my life was happening and I had no other outlet. So I wrote New Beginnings, and New Beginnings is literally just me saying everything that was on my mind. That was me telling these people, hey, listen, I hear you, but I'm not going to tell you. You're going to listen to my song and you're just going to realize that, listen, people hear you, but I don't know exactly what to say, but like there's a feeling of like you're making art, you're not calling anybody out, you're not saying anybody's name, but you're putting your feelings on that page and you're letting everybody know how you feel. Nobody gets hurt in the end, you know?
Yeah.
So,
You were talking about high school and friends letting go and letting go of friends, etc. Does that affect your music a lot? Just relationships, I guess, relationships, friendships, all that. Does it affect the music when it comes to like losing people, people being quote unquote fake? I don't, obviously everyone deals with this kind of stuff, but
yeah.
does it affect your well-being in music?
I would say, yeah, I would say it does affect my well-being just because, like, obviously, it happens in real life. You get that feeling, it affects you. That's the obvious. But then you go home, you sit down, and you start writing. And if you're not writing, you throw on a beat and you start rapping. And sometimes you don't even know you feel a certain way until the music starts. You know, you'll start rapping, you'll start saying how you feel. I sometimes sing too. So, sometimes that singing will come out when I'm feeling emotional or something else. And I just find it kind of cool. I'm smiling because it's cool because I think of my music as a brain of its own. You know, as soon as that music turns on and I start rapping, I don't even know what I'm gonna say next. Like it just starts coming out. So I find that really cool. And yeah, yeah.
I just, oh my gosh, I just saw an interview of Logic, Logic, the
Yeah,
rapper.
of course. Yeah.
I just saw an interview of Logic talking about like how some of his albums are story, like based on a fictional story, but most of the things in his songs are based on real life situations.
Yeah.
Do you ever go that path where it's like real life situations, but you build it into a fictionalized story? A lot of artists do this, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
do you go that route?
I think when I started off, I went really true, really raw, really real. Like I wanted to only say things that like, I could relate to and like I actually have seen and done. And I still want to do that. I still want to continue doing that. I'm not gonna, come out here and start just making music for other people. It's always gonna be for myself. But what I am gonna do is transition into what you said of like being able to tell a story. And I actually did do that once. There was a song called Tom and Betty, and I really wanted to release it, but another artist was using that beat. It was confusing, I had purchased it because I was like listening. I was like, oh well, I gotta buy this one. It's like it's not every day. I don't know, like rappers, probably a lot of them listen to YouTube beats, but it's not every day you like buy one. So I bought it and then I turned out I couldn't use it. But in that one, I definitely took my own experiences and then put it into a story. And yeah, 100% did that. So that's completely accurate. Yeah.
Do you have an album or like any inspiration when it comes to your music? Are you thinking like creating a whole grand album as in a story way, like a full on theatrical story album? Like where like for example, I'm gonna use Logic as an example, as in like the Incredible True Story that he put out, or
Hmm.
um, you could even say like The Weeknd's like After Hours album. That one's all story.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
There's so many that I know. Like for you, like those songs are amazing, and like I feel like I have similar ones that I listen to, but like a little bit of a different vibe. Like Mona Lisa with Lil
mhm.
Wayne, and storytelling, same kind of
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And like I love stuff like that. And Nux actually has one. Um, Leon, I think it's Leon. I think it's called Leon.
Maybe.
Yeah. And he's just rapping about somebody named Leon. And I just found that so cool. Like if you haven't listened to that song, you gotta check it out because it's so vibes, it's so mellow, and he's telling a story at the same time. And that is something that, like I said, I want to transition into that because actually I might not have mentioned it, but I kind of want to transition into like a more mellow Nux vibe, not trying to take anybody's thing or step on any toes, but I definitely want to mellow out a little bit and channel my vibe, my natural,
Yeah.
aura or whatever it's called. I just want
Hmm.
to be myself for that. So,
We'll just channel you. You want to
channel
channel
me.
what you want to be. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
you were saying creative blocks. I don't know if I asked this question or you might have answered it, but I'm gonna re-ask this question: is
Absolutely.
how do
Yeah.
you deal with creative blocks?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I really elaborated on like the actual, you know, how I deal with it before,
Hmm.
but when that comes up and I'm sitting here, it doesn't just happen for writing, it also happens for like freestyling too. I'll sit there and I'll just be like, and I'll literally be at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. So everybody gets tired. You've studied for tests before, you've done school, you overwork your brain and you get to a point where you need a study break, right? It's the same thing. The same thing applies to music. You need to take a music break. You need to go outside, get some air, or go do something else, Listen to another song actually. Like that helps me a lot is listening to another rap song, getting back into just the vibe. Because you get so into the writing of it that that's when you get blocked, right? And your
Hmm.
vibe kind of goes away because you get into work mode. You need to get back into vibe mode, right? Because as somebody who makes or not makes the beats, but I'm trying to transition into that. But like as somebody who's sitting here and I'm doing everything by myself, you know, I get into work mode. I get into like okay, I gotta move this, I gotta move this, I gotta do that. So I gotta go listen to another song, vibe out a little bit, catch the wave a little, come back in, and then I'll start again. And then that's when I start rapping or whatever. But yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
totally get that. Yeah, I listen to a lot of music. Like it's
Oh
not
yeah.
even like it's
No,
a
that's good, man.
it's bad.
No, that
But
it's not. It's good, man. It's good. You're knowledgeable in the field, so that's gives you
thank
an edge.
goodness. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so this question is an interesting one because a
Mhm.
lot of people answer this differently. Um, some people don't, some people do. Um, I want to see how you would say this. Do you get scared or nervous when putting out tracks?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. When I actually started rapping, so I was at like I can't remember how many followers I had, maybe like around 1,200. It was my personal account before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had switched it to comic overnight one night because I guess I was just like, yeah, let's do it, let's do the switch. So I did that and I went down like I don't know, maybe like 300 followers over the next like week. It was crazy. I was just like, wow, like this is, so it's a scary thing. Anytime I put out a track, anytime I make any music, of course I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna be like, is everybody gonna like it? Are they going to feel the same way that I feel about it? But I'm getting so much better at just making the music and saying, you know what, this is how I feel. Guys, take it. If you don't like it, that's cool. That's okay. Listen to another one of my songs. You might be able to, connect to that one because I do bring a lot of different vibes to a lot of my songs. And so that's why, my next album, I want to kind of keep it tight, make it all the same vibe. or my first album, should I say?
So you're
Yeah.
releasing an album.
Yeah, so I'm in the works right now. I've been working really hard. It's in the beats process right now, so I'm looking for the vibes and trying to get a whole lineup of things that I'm just like, yes, this is it. But don't worry, there's songs coming. Like I'm gonna be
Hmm.
releasing still while the album's getting made, you know. I just feel like I really have to get into it now, and I just for the people who do listen to me, because there is a good chunk of people who listen to me. Like there's, even though it's small, they do listen and they want another song and I'm gonna give it to them. It's just like I do have people asking, DMing, hey, when's the next song out? And it feels so good. It feels so good. I'm not gonna hide that. I love it. So I'm gonna keep being there for those people. If one song helps somebody, that's huge for me. I just want to connect with my listeners. That's literally it. That's it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure thousands like can agree on that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Connection is like the biggest
Absolutely.
thing when you're working in like the arts and
Yeah.
all that. So yeah, that's completely agreeable there. Um, Now, this is an interesting question. I
Hmm.
think you might be the first one I've asked this question, so this is a
Okay.
little treat.
Yeah. Let's go.
What do people misunderstand about chasing music as a career?
Um, that's a really, really good question, actually. And to be honest, I think it's a lifestyle thing. I think that people start judging your lifestyle. Maybe not for people who are singers, and like a lot of people have a very beautiful front on them where they're just like, that is, it's everything it should be. Beautiful voice, beautiful covers, beautiful art, everything's beautiful. And then there's other people who, it's like rap. I rap, and I feel like I get judged, my life gets judged for it. Whereas it's not just like my music, it's people are looking at me now and being like, oh, he raps. Oh, he has tattoos. Like a tattoo on his hand. I've heard people talking about certain things before. Like I'm very aware, I understand what everybody's saying. The difference is I just don't care anymore. I really just don't care anymore. I do this and it makes me very happy. And I do have a small chunk of people listening to me. Like I said, there is like somebody, whether it's a relative or a friend, I do not care. I really don't care. I'm not out here to please everybody. I work very, very hard to, maintain. I live by myself, so I have to work very hard. And on top of that, this is my outlet for just de-stressing. So if you guys, anybody out there doesn't like it, I'm sorry, just don't listen to it. Like it's not, just don't judge my life and who I am because of making music. That's all. That's
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's totally understandable, and everyone gets that, so it's like
It does, yeah, it happens.
it happens.
Anybody who's doing something that's different, that's not right on the norm, working this 9 to 5, going, whether it's going to university, whatever it was, people will judge you for doing something different. Don't stop just because other people are judging you. Come on.
This is a part two to the question.
Absolutely.
Um, what's something people don't know about the music journey?
Hmm. That's a really good question. Something that people don't know about the music journey. I would say people don't understand how hard it is just to get one listen, or even just like somebody listening to your music and like the slightest word can affect your entire the way you think. Just one word describing your song if they're listening to it. Um, so yeah, I definitely feel like um, people don't really understand that you're putting a lot of yourself into your work, a lot of yourself and a lot of your feelings and emotions into your art. I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, that's definitely how it is. And so I definitely don't think that they understand how hard it is to get yourself out there. But I don't necessarily think that anybody's, like putting you down and saying, they could do better. So it's kind of to each their own. Nobody really understands, but it's because you're just not doing it. That's all. If you did it, you would understand. So, you
Yeah.
know, that's kind
Do
of that.
you are you like when you're creating music, is collaboration a big thing for you, or are you like more of an alone type of person?
That's okay. Yeah, another great question because I don't think I've ever actually been asked that before. And that I would say I'm more of a solo artist just because I have a very like I like to create and I have a very certain way of creating and when somebody tries to impede I kind of get like like but I'm getting better at it and I did just do a collab with Wonder Boy, and he's a great guy. We hang out and we got along the whole time, it was just vibes in the studio the whole time. We were sitting there right next to each other writing. That kind of like back and forth that you'll hear on it, that is literally just how we were sitting in the studio and vibing. Like we were going back and forth in there. So I would say that I'm starting to open up to the idea of features, and I have a lot of people that I'm talking to right now, very, very talented people that I'm like, I really want to work with you. So um, hopefully there's somebody soon. He's a singer. I don't want to say too much in case, it doesn't happen, but it looks like it's gonna happen, and he's very talented. So I'm really excited to share that with everybody if it happens. So yeah,
Are you planning on working with any female vocalists? Because
yeah,
I just
absolutely.
interviewed I think McKinley would work very well on your
Hmm.
type of style. I
Yeah,
think her vocals plus the raps could work like
yeah.
that's like me thinking like Nora Jones type of energy when it
Hmm.
comes to like
Hmm.
singing plus also like just rap as well, like the back and
Yeah,
forth.
yeah,
So I think that like collaborations like that could also impact like that like stuff like that also impacts like us as an audience because
absolutely.
we love to hear vocals and raps. You see that a lot
Hmm.
in media,
Yeah.
but when it truly becomes something at the peak of listening, it's like, yeah, this is
No, yeah. I think, I actually, so I wasn't sure if it was gonna get brought up, but I have like mutual friends with McKinley and like we've talked like very briefly about our music before. And I would absolutely love to collab with her on a song because she's somebody that, like I was saying before, like she's somebody that has that, she's got everything going right and her
hmm
music's amazing. Like I sit there and I'm like, wow. I've sat at the beach before. I was having drinks one time. I didn't even know she was performing. And I saw her perform and I was just like, who is singing? This is amazing. And I went up there and it was her, So I do think that she's very talented and I have thought that our styles mesh pretty well. And I've listened to them side by side before. And, I've also rapped a little bit on one of her tracks before, just over top to kind of see how it would go. And yeah, it's a vibe, She's got an insane voice, and I think that that would be super cool. So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll
I was
see.
just thinking of that because when I was listening to both songs and both music
Mhm.
artistry from the Skogs, I was this is like this low key could work.
Absolutely.
And that was just like my mind just ripping like maybe I should just bring that up just so that
Yeah.
I'm like this could work. I was
Yeah.
just
No, no, for
um
sure, man. Like, we're all around. Like,
yeah
you're out there and I'm in Vancouver, so it's like we're close. We're all
yeah
close and it's possible to communicate. And this is the thing, like local artists need to start talking to each other. And I'm just getting myself out there for the first time. I want to go and meet all these really talented people. And I know there's so many out there that I have no
mhm,
idea even exist right now. So I need to get out there. I need to meet these people. And I need to just start, becoming more into the music community because there's some really great people out here that I haven't really had the
mhm.
chance to see. So.
Are you
Yeah.
planning to do any gigs?
Yeah, I really do want to like soon. I'm coming up on enough songs to be able to do a little set. Um yeah, I'd love to do a performance. Like I said, no manager, nobody vouching for me, so I'm out here texting clubs, texting
Yeah.
different places in Vancouver. If anybody sees this from Vancouver, like a bar, club, I'd love to come and perform. It's so vibes, and I'll bring lots of people too. I know, like, I'll have all the boys in there. It'll be sick. I'm really looking forward to my first performance. Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure.
Mm.
A lot of artists. I just interviewed an artist, 2 days ago. Her name is Franny, and she was telling me about like gigs and stuff, and like reaching out to like bars and like all these like local businesses,
Hmm.
just doing a small like maybe 30-minute set,
Yeah.
and that really impacts the music, especially because people come up to you, people enjoy it, people vibe with
Hmm.
it. So I think it's definitely, especially with your kind of music, when it comes to the vibey, mellow tracks, Summer Love is a great one to say.
Yeah.
So yes,
Appreciate it.
yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
This is a question I ask a lot is what's the hardest thing about music creation?
Ooh. Uh, I would say finding the time. Finding the time to do it, dude. Time is money. Time is gold. Like,
Yeah.
I work so hard, and when I come back from work, I'm exhausted. So, and I gotta clean this place all the time. I'm literally like always cleaning. So it's just about stopping the procrastination, sitting down, opening your little notebook, and just say, I'm gonna write right now. Put it on the table and start writing. That's what you gotta do, So yeah, you got to do that.
But yeah. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. It's always
It's
ticking,
always
and days are
ticking.
always gonna go by fast. So
Always, bro.
always.
Yeah.
Um, so as you start to release more and more and more,
Yeah.
um, what do you hope people feel 10 years from now when they hear your music?
Dude, even just saying that sentence just like, gives me little goosebumps because I'm like, oh, in 10 years people are going to be listening to my music. No, that feels great. And I think that if there is people listening to my music down the line 10 years from now, I want them to just get a sense of understanding, like even the smallest piece of what's going on in my brain or what was going on in my brain, whatever. 10 years isn't too far, but you never know what's gonna happen. So, like I just want people to understand how I thought at one point or another in my life because everything that I talk about and say or do in my music, it's all coming from my life, everything. So, yeah, I just want them to know. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you have an artist that you would love to collab with? Maybe top three?
Like anybody?
Any artist?
Okay, yeah. So Aaron May, 100% would love to collab with him. Um, Don Toliver, I think would be just like the coolest thing ever. I would play so much with my vocals in a song with him and just like see what I can do. But I think that would be like one of the most insane things ever. Um, and then the third one, I would say, good question. That's a good question. Um, you know what? Jev right now. Jev is just a very, very funky rapper, and I want to pick his brain, bro. Like, I want to know what this guy's thinking and how he creates his music and what his process is. Like, that's somebody that I just really want to pick apart and know what he's doing. So, I would
Hmm.
definitely love to be on a song with him too. But yeah, that's a really hard question because there's so many talented people, man.
So many talented people.
Yeah.
It's the world is only getting more
Hmm.
talented, I would say. And
Hmm.
with the use of it, what's your thoughts on AI?
Man, you can use it for good, you can use it for bad. I did my podcast promotion or this episode's promotion
Hmm.
with AI. I was like, help me create a little promotion and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
did,
yeah.
and it looked great. For people like me, AI is great. Use it in like I don't know how to explain it. Use it so that you can help yourself, but don't use it to do everything. I'm somebody that's very busy and I want to make my music, do these promotions, so it's very helpful in that aspect. So I think that, yeah, that would be my opinion on AI, honestly.
Yeah, that's what people say is AI is good for helping to do the easy work, and then um, you can do the real work on your own stuff.
Of course.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's why it's easy is just, it's also helpful for like, when you jot your ideas down, and then it can like give you a brief explanation on stuff.
Absolutely. No, for sure.
Um, yeah.
Oh, and
Um,
SZA. I forgot SZA. It just popped
SZA,
into my head. SZA is somebody that I would love to collab with. Yeah.
SZA. Oh,
It just jumped into my head because I was like, come on, there's one more. But
no, SZA. I've been listening to SZA a lot recently, so I can't lie. Yeah, that
I would say
works.
that's one. But yeah, no,
Um, no, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say that I think that everything is just like you gotta do it in good amounts, and you just have to kind of do everything in a good amount. Don't do too much of something, and
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
all
yeah. Okay,
moderation. Yeah.
we're gonna take a pause right here to do a segment called the shoot the shit segment. I do this on every single interview.
Okay.
It's a fun little segment, just to take your mind out of the actual interview and just have some fun. 7 questions, very easy questions. You can answer them fast, or you can give them a little brief explanation on each question. Depends on
Okay.
you.
Okay.
So the first question is top 3 movies.
Ooh, okay. Right off the bat, Boys in the Hood is like probably my favorite movie ever. Um, wow, that's so hard. I love
Hmm.
movies. That's like the worst question to ask me. Um, and then I'm like drawing blanks right now, dude.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
I have a couple like posters on. You can't really see them, but they're all pitch black over here. But uh, it's like Wolf of Wall Street, Pulp
Of
Fiction.
course. I was gonna say those too, but like I feel like so many people say them. I wanted to
Hmm.
kind of say, but obviously, Wolf of Wall Street, Pulp Fiction,
Yeah.
amazing movies. What
Um,
else?
Boys in the Hood is good. I also like the old like Steven what's it called? Spielberg
Steven
movies.
Spielberg
Yeah.
movies, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I can't say I've seen too many of the older Steven Spielberg movies, but that's something I want to start getting into.
but like yeah.
Dude, I'm drawing blanks right now on the movies. Boys in the Hood is always going to be my top one, but if you ask me for other ones underneath that, I'm just not sure what to say.
Mhm.
I really don't know.
Are you more of like an OG movie person, like, or are you more
Yeah,
like, do you like current
absolutely.
stuff?
No, 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 no. I do not like any current stuff. Like, it's like honestly hard for me to like some of the current stuff. Like, I really like the early
Hmm.
2000s stuff. Like, dude, a lot of the Seth Rogen movies and like all those old ones. Like, I love those. They're so funny. But yeah,
Pineapple Express, all these ones.
exactly. Like
Hmm.
Pineapple Express, This Is the End. But
Super
like,
bad.
exactly, like stuff that super bad. Like, comedies,
Yeah.
like really funny stuff. But I would just say there's one favorite, and that's Boys in the Hood. And the rest is too hard. I'm gonna have to go
Yeah.
hands off that one.
Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, he's good in
Um,
that one.
favorite Canadian artist.
Ooh, that's a really good question. That's a really, really good question,
Hmm.
actually.
Some people go with like classic, like The Weeknd, Drake, Bieber, all these like big, huge stars.
Of course.
And then some people go smaller.
Yeah, I know like everybody wants to do like, the smaller artists and like, there's Drake, but I feel like I don't know why. BB No Money. He just had a vibe. He bounced up. He's from Vancouver. He like I just thought that his music was so cool. When I first heard that one song, who wasn't vibing to it? La
Hmm.
la 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 la
Da,
la
da,
la,
da,
you
da,
know?
da, da, yeah.
Yeah. That was good. So yeah, I think BB No Money just 'cause like he really was just average, normal, and he came up and out, and that's really cool.
Yeah, that is a fire song. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
And people hate on it, but I don't care.
People do hate on it, that's the thing. I would say I respect him the most as an artist,
Hmm.
that came out of here. But yeah.
Um, favorite actor?
I'd have to say I have a buddy Saul who's an actor. So for Solomon, I'm gonna say Solomon for him because I love that guy more than anything. But if I have to go actual like, mainstream kind of like movie type actors,
Hmm.
I'll go I mean, how can you not go Ryan Reynolds, I mean, like Seth Rogen was here too though, and we did talk about him. So I think I'll go Seth Rogen just, to be kind of
Seth
devil's
Rogen,
advocate.
yes.
Yeah, to everybody. Like,
I will
everybody
say
loves Ryan.
Seth Rogen's new show, The Studio, is fire. I think it's great.
Is it?
Um, yeah, I think it's amazing, and it
Okay.
showcases um, good comedy because I know comedy these days is going
True.
downwards. So that show definitely brings it back a little bit.
That's good. I'm looking for something new to watch, so that's good.
Yeah, The Studio, it's pretty good. Um,
Studio. Okay.
but yeah, Seth Rogen, Solomon, your buddy, friend.
Yeah, yeah, Solomon. He's really talented, dude. I don't know if you guys are on Apple TV Plus. He's on Swagger. He's
Oh,
very talented, man. So I would say him because yes, he's my friend, but also he channels a lot of that emotion in his character, and I thought that was so cool because I know him in real life, and then I
hmm,
seen him on screen, and I was like, whoa, that's I'd never seen that before. So huge respect for him. Seth Rogen, Ryan Reynolds, you already know.
Ryan Reynolds, Canadian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
or you
Go
were gonna
ahead.
say something?
I thought of somebody else, but left my mind last second.
Hmm.
Very good. Cut that
Uh,
out.
YouTube or TikTok?
Uh, YouTube, dude. The only time I'm ever on TikTok is to upload my stuff.
Hmm.
That's I should be because there's like I know there's like culture stuff and like I should do some learning. But I'd go on Instagram, I go on YouTube, don't find myself on TikTok, dude. Yeah. But it's cool. People are doing their thing on
Yeah.
there, so.
So you're more like long form content.
Yeah, it actually like it's sometimes long form, but I'll even be on YouTube Reels, man, because I feel like YouTube Reels is like I don't know. It just feels fresh to me. It feels like they're not watching the algorithm too much. So it's just kind of stuff you're interested in rather than, all the
It's different too. YouTube Shorts is like a little bit more longer than the short
yeah.
videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot more different. It's also the wave. If you do want to post more content, like I've been saying this to a lot more people, is YouTube Shorts is like the top.
YouTube Shorts, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I gotta get on that because I kind of let DistroKid, yeah, the distributor,
Hmm.
like I kind of let them upload and post to all the platforms and YouTube and everything. But I've been considering starting like a second YouTube channel just to make creative videos and all that. So that'd be cool.
Yeah. Since we're on the topic of YouTube, do you have a favorite
Mm.
YouTuber?
Favorite YouTuber?
Maybe top three, couple that you can mention.
I mean, dude, I watch Drewski all the time. Like
Drewski.
Drewski like all the time, dude. Like his could have been records, the
Hmm.
auditions, I watch those all the time. Um and to be honest, I watch a lot of cooking videos. Like you're gonna see a lot of cooking videos, Gordon Ramsay. You're gonna see Beats, and then like I said, Drewski, and then some of the other like the cut lineups and all that stuff. Like they all get added into the algorithm, so you're gonna see that anyways.
Drewski, I just watched Could Have Been Love. I think he's starting a new season on that. Could Have Been
Is he?
Love.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
it could have
think
been
he's.
love. Yeah, yeah. No,
I
he
think
is
he's.
definitely.
I think he is.
Hmm.
Best chocolate brand.
Best chocolate brand, dude. Uh, I don't even know. Maybe Lint, like I think that's how you say
Yo,
it, Lint, right?
finally someone said it. No one no one has said Lind, and I'm like, it's the
Nobody
best
said
one.
Lind.
No one. Everyone's like Ferrero Rocher, Arrow. I'm like,
How do you
Lind?
even make a chocolate like Lind, you know?
I don't know, but it's too good.
Exactly. No, I agree.
Um, and then last question, favorite fast food.
Favorite fast food. Um,
It could be Canadian, it could be your typical ones.
so I'm Greek, and
Hmm.
in Greece we have the gyro. That's like our fast food, right? So gyro all the way, takes the cake all the time. Here, if I'm relating to people over here, my
Hmm.
favorite fast food, I don't mind a good A&W burger sometimes on the fly, you know? Why not?
Yeah, A&W is fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and that wraps up the shoot the shit segment. This segment is a fun one because I always like to just take it out and just do something fast so people are like, we get to like express regular things instead of not going so deep into whatever, music, creative, acting, whatever.
Hmm.
So I like to just have a nice conversation about just regular stuff.
Yeah, of course, man. No. Yeah.
But getting back into music, um, what's your writing process like? Do you write like on the fly? Is it like one song is done in a day type of thing, or some people like do it in like 2 years for one song? Are you
Yeah.
like an in a day type of person, or?
So basically with the most recent songs, Summer Love, and then there's another one coming out, little teaser, but it's called Stun. We don't know about the name yet for sure. It's another one with Wonder Boy. It's gonna be coming out. So those two songs, the I had Summer Love like on the back burner and I was kind of writing it. And then I took it to Wanda. We talked, we made the music, and we just wrote a little bit. It took us 20 minutes to write at his house, actually. We went to his place, wrote for 20 minutes, headed to the studio, got a 2 hour session, and banged out two songs in like 2 hours. So it's literally what you make of it. You work really hard, you can bang out like three songs in 3 hours. But I would say it's possible to do a song in an hour. You just need some writing done beforehand and
Hmm.
plan of what you want to do. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
are you planning? So when you were talking about the album that you were slowly creating,
Yeah.
um, what's like the space behind the album? Is it gonna be what you were talking about, like mellow and moods and all that, or are you gonna make it like a full 10 track, 12 track album? What's your headspace on that album?
So I'm like aiming for 10 tracks, aiming for 10. I really want to get 10 out. The amount of work that's gonna go into this is going to be like I'm exhausted just thinking about it, to be
Hmm.
honest. But I think like it's gonna be a 10 track type deal somewhere around there. And it's gonna go for the mellow vibes. I want to bring everybody back, reel them in to, something that I really actually want to put out there. I want people to start understanding the kind of vibe, ride the wave, just relax. It's all cool, light one up, listen to my music,
Hmm.
So you gotta do that, Yeah,
Are you thinking like what I'm picturing is like sitting at a beach,
yeah,
sunset type of vibe? Like
yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
Dude, beach, sunset vibes, like, I can be very summery, but
Hmm.
in that, I want a mix of like those beach vibes, but also like 90s after school kicking it on the
Oh yeah,
playground type
yeah,
shit,
yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, I just really want to get the best of both worlds into that, and hopefully I can. And get some vocals. I want to put some of my own vocals into there, start singing a little bit on my tracks.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Have you been experimenting with singing like a lot recently?
definitely. I started out singing actually. That was like,
Oh.
yeah, that was like my thing, dude. I loved singing, and like I would do basically anything I could to just like sing all the time at
Mhm.
home, in the car, everywhere. And like my mom would set up little concerts for our family and friends, and I would stand up there and start singing for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I was at an age where I could understand what people's reactions meant, is when I started seeing, wow, these people are genuine about how I sound and how, this feedback is real. Because I thought, you're a young kid, everybody's gonna be, oh, you're so good, you're good. And then you keep getting older and people stop bullshitting you as much and they start giving you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth just stayed somewhat positive. For the most part, it stayed positive. I've had some people tell me directly to my face to stop making music. It's not for me. Like, I'm not even joking. I've had people tell me directly to my face, stop making music. It's not for you. And I literally tell them it's not for everybody and it's not for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you. So that's
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. I resonate with that. Um, what's your process like? What would your message be to people that talk down on people who are trying to chase dreams? Because there's so many people who, you know, like even like close people, like very close, like friends
oh yeah.
and family members who would like talk down on someone close to them who are trying to chase their dream. What would your like message be to maybe even dream chasers as well as to those people who talk down on? Um, what would you say?
You know, this definitely hits home, because like I said, New Beginnings was an outlet. Like I say, you hurt me, make a song. They hurt you, make a song. Put it into something. Um, there's there is gonna be people that hate on your music. There's gonna be people that talk down on you and your music. Like I said, you as a person, they're gonna start tying it all together. Um, and that sucks. It feels terrible. And when you're in high school, when you're coming out of high school, it doesn't matter. When you're in a friend group and somebody else is saying something about you that's not positive, and you're hearing it from other people, or you can feel it because you're not stupid. You can feel it. So there is going to be people that do that. And I used to give into that, and I used to feel very bad and very insecure about my music, and I didn't want to make any music anymore, and I stopped for a bit. I really did. Um, and down the road a little bit, I just started being like, you know what? Like I said, I got into a very bad car accident. I don't know if I actually said this.
No.
I might not have mentioned it. I got into a very bad car accident. I was in a wheelchair for a couple months. It was, pretty traumatic, and I almost lost my life there. And I
Hmm.
feel like you don't have to almost lose your life. That's not what I'm saying. But everybody has a turnaround moment where they can be like, why is that person still in my life? Why are you
Hmm.
giving that person the opportunity to be able to speak about you like that? Cut them out of your life. Don't keep them in your life. Life is way too short to be surrounded by people who don't care about you genuinely. Yeah,
Yeah, I've dealt with that a lot. Um, Especially starting this too, like this whole thing. People are like, oh, come on, it's not gonna, it's not gonna go anywhere. But
why?
as you can see,
Yeah,
so many people are coming onto this and speaking what they want to speak, which is just super cool that this is a thing. And it's looking like I'm the only Canadian doing
yes,
this.
bro. It looks like you are the only person who's trying to pick up other people like you are. Like
Yeah.
you're not doing this for a bad reason. You're doing this because you actually care about this stuff. And I can see that. I definitely admire that. So that's cool,
Hmm.
man. Very cool.
No, yeah, I admire artists I admire people who are just chasing what they
Of
want to
course.
chase
Yeah.
because it is true. Life is too short. Do whatever you want to do.
Hmm.
Chase the dream, even if it's just going across the country and just seeing the world, or
Hmm.
um, starting an acting career or a music career. It's like you can do anything you want these days, especially with the use of
Of
social
course.
media. Um, Doing gigs is like a lot easier now, and it's like the world is different now, so it's
Hmm.
more just you can do what you want to do, and you don't have to like down yourself because of people telling
Absolutely.
you, oh, you gotta be this and that. Like, so I resonate with that, especially uh, with people talking down on you and being
course.
fake, I should say.
Of course.
So when it comes to everything in music, what do you hope to achieve in the next couple years down the road?
I want to grow my numbers, I want more people to listen to me. I want to get a greater reach. I want to be able to just connect with more people. That's it. I just want everybody to be able to listen to my music and hopefully enjoy it. I want to get to a point where people are listening to me. Like, I get texts from I have a friend Raj, and he is like the best person, dude. Like he texts me all the time in the morning when I'm going to work, and he'll be like,
Mhm.
"Hey dude, listening to your song right now, these lyrics are lifting up my day. Like I just want you to know that." I have so many of these texts on my phone from this guy, like, and it's just like, that's what I want. I want to be able to do that to people. Exactly
Mhm.
that. So if I can do that down the road, then that's awesome. That's all I want, you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Yeah,
connection. That's top tier.
of
Like that's
course.
the most influential thing.
Of course.
Um, and then this is gonna be my last like question.
Yeah.
Um, my last question would be is if you are speaking, let's just picture this. If you're speaking in a room full of people right now, and me and you are having this episode in a room with like 100 to 200 people, and my final question would be to everyone, looking up at this and watching and whatever, what would you say as a motivational, I don't want to say speech, but a
Mhm.
motivational message when it comes to creation and doing what you want to do, pushing yourself and just being what you want to be. What would you say to a crowd of people?
I do have something that I do want to say.
Hmm.
And that is that everybody in our business, whether your business, my business, we're all in this kind of art together.
Hmm.
What you do is art, what I do is art. And everybody in this business is going to strive for perfection. They want flawlessness, they want perfection, they want to be perfect, they want to, yeah, I said that like three times, but bottom line, they want to be perfect and they want to be for everybody. If you're trying to be this person and you want to change for the people who aren't listening to you and the people who don't care about your music, then what are you doing? The only people that you want in your corner are the people who are listening to you for being your true self, for being authentic, for doing what you do. You don't want to get all this fame and people looking at you because you're changing to look cool, you know? Keep being you. We need authenticity in this world. We need to keep being ourselves. That's it. Don't try to be cool. Just go out there and do you. Have fun. You know, that's it.
No, yeah, I'd back that totally. That's like the realest thing that could have been said, so I appreciate that.
Of course.
Um, and this is crazy because we've already reached an hour, which is insane.
Yeah, we've
But
been shooting it.
we've been shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit.
um, but yes, I will say thank you for doing this.
Of course, yeah.
I say this to everyone is um, when I reach out or when people reach out, it's always a blessing because um, getting interviews is hard,
Mhm.
especially these
Yeah.
days, and doing interviews with artists, producers, actors, whatever. I'm very blessed and lucky that people are enjoying and reaching out and saying that they like the interviews and saying that they're interested in doing one and saying that I have a good conversational interview instead
You
of
do.
just always just going this and that.
But yeah,
So thank you for doing this, and it was a pleasure to talk to you. And I'm sure we're gonna
thank
still
you.
keep in touch
Oh,
doing
absolutely.
this.
Yeah.
And I always say this to everyone. Hopefully, we could do this yearly when it comes
Yeah.
to doing this. Is
I would
check
love to
out,
have a check-in. You
check
know
in.
that Billie Eilish video where
Hmm.
she's like this many listeners.
Yeah,
Dude, I would love to do that.
that's what I want to do. I
Yeah.
talk to everyone beforehand, saying let's do a check-in video every single year just to see
Absolutely.
how the improvement's been and how bigger the rise is going. Whether it's for you and me or other people, it's like, yeah, so that's what I strive for, and I hope we can evolve and create cool things, and I wish nothing but the best when it comes to music for you.
Thank you, man. And I totally, I wish the same for you. I want you to have the best career. I hope that you get all the interviews that you want. And, you know, absolutely, we're gonna stay in touch. You know, you're a very, very chill guy. I'm so happy that we have this opportunity. And, you know, I'm glad we got to talk, and we'll keep the conversations going after the cameras cut some other time. And, you know, we'll definitely just shoot the shit.
And that's it. That's pretty much the recording when it comes to shoot the shit. And thank you again. Please check out his music. You already know it's going to be at the end of this whole entire interview. It's going to be in the description, wherever, Spotify, freaking YouTube, wherever you see it. So check it out. You got some music coming out this year?
I do. I have some music coming out soon.
Coming out soon. So
Yeah.
that's a pleasure. So check it out. Summer Love is also out, and I've been bumping that low key on my Spotify.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Every listener, man.
It just reminds me of old times. I don't know. It just got that like sprinkle of old times in there for me.
Maybe I'll get you a snippet of the next song. Maybe we'll get you going on that.
Maybe. I'm down. I'm down to listen to anything. I'm down to hear anything. I'm down to come to whatever. If you're coming to Toronto to do a show, I'd be super down to come.
Yeah, brother. Of course. Yeah.
Wake up, Don. When it's on TV, it's not like I got all the time in the world to check.
Not that white women. Your time is running out.